Now going to begin. I'm going to call on the first two speakers on the list. Public comment is starting at 2:13 p.m. and we will go until 2:33 p.m. with public comment. First up is Brittany Belay, followed by Mari Delaney.
Hello, Council. My name is Mari Delaney, and first I'm calling in support of Scooter Share. Other cities have had great success with scooters, and we should definitely follow suit. Second of all, I would like to ask Councilmember Sawant where she was last Tuesday when the pigs were brutalizing homeless folks out in Cal Anderson, and why she continues to remain disconnected from the event in her district. And finally, I want to thank all of y'all for the pepper spray y'all bought to be used on children once again yesterday at the SPOG rally. I yield my time.
And next up is Howard, followed by Colleen McAleer.
Hi, this is Howard Gale from Lower Queen Anne, District 7, commenting on urgent issues concerning police accountability that are part of the Council's 2020 work program. In recent months, we've seen the abject failure of all three of Seattle's police accountability bodies. For nearly 4 months now, the Community Police Commission, the OIG, and the OPA have ignored the SPD murder of an African-American man, Terry Kaver, murdered in Seattle just days before George Floyd. Only recently has the OPA opened an investigation into this murder, claiming at first that no one had submitted a complaint, despite the fact I had back in June, and despite the OPA having the mandate to do so independent of any complaints. Just last Wednesday, to everyone's shock and dismay, the CPC abruptly and arbitrarily suspended public comment and fled into an illegal executive session to deal with this violation of transparency. Here, the bottom line is there's an urgent need not to just defund and reimagine policing, but to defund and reimagine the current failed police accountability system. Thank you.
Thank you for calling in today. Next up is Eric, followed by Huang Bui.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
We can. Go ahead.
Okay. So my name is Eric Salinger, and unfortunately I still live in District 7, and honestly I don't know why I bother calling anymore. There was a march to SPOG's HQ yesterday. It wasn't a violent march. There were families there. There were kids there. The march arrived at SPOG's HQ, and speakers started blasting, "Save a horse, ride a cowboy," as tear gas and crowd control munitions started flying. There are videos. I know people who were there and got gassed. Save a horse, ride a cowboy. This isn't the attitude of a department that wants to be accountable to the community. This is the attitude of gang of thugs who react violently whenever their authority is challenged. And they know they can get away with murder. Just ask Dan Satterberg. 7 of you agreed to defund SPD by 50%, and you chickened out. The mayor vetoed the cuts you did decide to make. Now you're going to come up with some sort of compromise? Save a horse, ride a cowboy. I know none of you are going to do anything like this other than wring your fucking hands. You want to couch us in, oh, we can't protect children from being tear gassed right now, but maybe we'll do something later. Or, oh, we can't stop the tactics of the nonviolent.
Thanks, Charlie. Next up is Braxton Baker, followed by Valerie Schleret.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm just calling on behalf of SGPA Seattle Group for Police Accountability, and I wanted to speak on the CBA for Police Officers Guild and the SPMA CBA that's set to expire at the end of this year. Back in 2018, when the contracts were initially open for negotiations and passed, we saw that the CPC, along with 23 other community groups that probably also signed with the consent decree, actually opposed the passing of this contract and stated that it went against a lot of hard-fought battles for police accountability. And not only that, but Judge James Robart also opposed the passing of this contract. And even with that being said, we see that City Council passed the legislation with an 8-1 vote, with Councilmember Sawant being the only opposition. So I just want to address the fact that in this current negotiation, we need community representation. We need to have the community involved, and we also need to be listened to.
Thank you. Our last speaker is Valerie.
Hi, council members. This is Valerie Schleret from Beacon Hill. I hadn't planned on speaking today, but I was catching up with the news this morning, especially on Twitter, and reading about what happened at the Labor Day march about policing in SoDo yesterday. I'm really so furious about the behavior of SPD, the continuing behavior of SPD that I couldn't really see. Can you hear me? I'm getting the beep.
Go ahead.
Everything that I see about SPD's behavior yesterday is absolutely infuriating. They are very highly paid city employees, and they are behaving as if they are running their own private war against protesters. This is completely unacceptable. It's really a form of theft of public money. I suggest that anyone who wants to catch up on this news, look at the Strangers report, look at reporter Rich Smith's.
Thank you so much for calling in. Colleagues, that is the last speaker I have that is both pre-registered and showing up as present on my public comment sign-up sheet here. So we're going to go ahead and close out the public comment period and begin on the items of business on our agenda, of which there are many. So let's go ahead and dig into this afternoon's work. We will begin with payment of the bills. There are 3